Here's our racing analyst, Tim Hauraney. George Russell said he thought Max Verstappen intentionally collided with him. Verstappen chose not to answer the question. Tim, do you believe Max intentionally hit Russell?
Yeah, I do think it was intentional. I mean, if you take a look at everything that sort of built up into that moment, I mean, Max having that huge save coming out of the final turn, Charles Leclerc ramming into the side of him, George Russell sending one down the inside, the two of them making contact, Verstappen arguing with his engineer over team radio to give the spot back to George, then Max slowing up and basically just showing George how frustrated he was with everything by ramming into the side of him. As for the 10-second time penalty, some people may think that, that may not be enough. But if you actually take a look at what the stewards slapped him with, they hit him with 3 penalty points on his super license. That brings him to a total of 11 penalty points. If he gets one more, that brings him to 12, and that is an automatic 1-race ban. And he doesn't have 2 of these penalty points expire until the end of June, so he's got to keep his nose clean up until then.
But Tim, do you believe Verstappen was more frustrated with the other drivers or with his own team?
Obviously, it's both. I think in terms of him being frustrated with the team, bringing him in for those hard tires really just screams to me that the team didn't really allocate properly throughout the weekend his tire management. If you take a look at what Ferrari did with Charles Leclerc in qualifying, they held back some new soft tires and they basically prioritized Leclerc's race over his qualifying, and in the race Leclerc had those new soft tires because he didn't chew through them in qualifying, and that was enough to allow Leclerc to come through and grab P3. But then add on top of that, with all this frustration talk, I mean, Jean-Pierre Lambiase over the team radio telling Max Verstappen to give the place to George Russell, then Max firing back asking why and why he should do it. And then later we find out at the end of this race that the FIA stewards, well, they actually took no further action on that situation, which means that Max didn't have to give that spot back. So for Verstappen, not only frustrations with other drivers, but frustrations with the car and with the team.
So Verstappen's future at Red Bull, Tim, it's been a big topic all season. After everything that happened this weekend, how do you think it'll affect the relationship?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the start of the season, I mean, there were a lot of rumors swirling around whether or not Max would stick around at Red Bull Racing, whether he would leave and go somewhere else for 2026, if he would trigger his exit clause in his contract and just walk away to another team. So a lot of rumors surrounding that. But then you get to Imola. Things looked a little bit better for him and the team. The car looked more competitive. Then fast forward to Spain, and on the Thursday media day, him saying that he didn't feel like he was in a driver's championship battle. That sent alarm bells off for me, because he is involved in a driver's championship battle. It was 3-way driver's battle at that moment. And then seeing everything that played out with him and the car throughout the race weekend, it just feels like things are starting to boil over again. And I think if you're Max Verstappen, you have to take a look at this team and the car, and are they going to get any better throughout this season and into next season? Because there are some pretty strict provisions in Max Verstappen's contract that may not allow him to actually leave the team and go somewhere else for 2026.